I have walked a long road to freedom. I have stumbled many times along the way, but I have never allowed pain to define my journey. Life will test your strength in many ways, through injustice, through heartbreak, through silence when you long for understanding. There are moments when people will leave you, hurt you, or forget you. In those moments, you may feel like crying for them, but I tell you this: do not shed your tears for those who cannot see your worth. Crying is not weakness, it is the language of the soul, but we must be careful not to give our pain to those who have not earned our love. If someone walks away from you, let them go with dignity. Do not chase what is not meant to stay. Our tears are sacred. They should water the soil of our future, not the footprints of those walking away. We are born with a light that should never be dimmed by rejection. We must not allow the actions of others to convince us that we are small or unworthy. You are not defined by who stays or who leaves. You are defined by how you continue to rise, how you continue to love yourself, how you continue to serve others with honor. In life, we must learn to stand tall even when the world around us falls apart. The strength of a person is not measured by how much they endure for others, but how deeply they remain rooted in dignity and peace. Do not cry for someone who does not cry for you. Do not carry the weight of a heart that never tried to carry yours. Instead, walk forward, smile at the sun, embrace those who see you as you are, and never forget your value is not determined by someone else's blindness. Keep your tears for moments of truth, for the joy of reunion, for the beauty of healing. But never cry for someone who made no space for your soul. Let your life speak louder than your sorrow. Let your resilience be your answer. And always remember, it is not in grieving over what we have lost that we grow, but in embracing what lies ahead with unshaken faith. Valuing your dignity above the approval of others is one of the most powerful lessons a person can learn in life. So often we find ourselves bending, changing, or compromising who we are in the hope of being accepted by others, by someone we love, by a group we wish to belong to, by a society that demands conformity. But the moment we begin to place the opinions of others above our own truth, we slowly lose parts of ourselves. Approval may feel good, but it is fleeting. Dignity, on the other hand, is a permanent force within us, and when we choose to honor it, we build a foundation that no external rejection can shake. There will be times when people will not see your value. They might ignore your efforts, minimize your emotions, or even walk away without explanation. In these moments, it's tempting to question yourself, to believe that their behavior is a reflection of your inadequacy. But it is not. Their failure to recognize your worth does not make you less worthy. True self-respect is rooted in understanding that your value is not dependent on validation from anyone else. You do not need to be chosen by another to be complete. You are enough as you are. When you value your dignity, you no longer beg for love or chase after those who take you for granted. You stand in your truth, even if it means standing alone. This is not pride or arrogance. It is clarity. It is the quiet understanding that your time, your energy, and your emotions are precious. You begin to realize that someone who genuinely cares for you will never require you to sacrifice your dignity in exchange for their attention or affection. Holding on to dignity means choosing silence over argument when someone is trying to belittle you. It means walking away from situations that dishonor your spirit, even when your heart wants to stay. It is a commitment to self-preservation, to healing, and to growth. It does not mean you never care. It means you care enough about yourself not to let anyone make you feel small. In a world where people are quick to judge and slow to understand, your dignity becomes your anchor. When everything else is uncertain, when relationships break, when words wound, when the world turns cold, your dignity remains the one thing that belongs fully to you. And the beautiful truth is, when you live in alignment with your dignity, the right people begin to see you. respect you, and walk beside you, not because you ask them to, but because your integrity draws those who recognize its value. Never trade your self-worth for momentary approval. Approval fades, dignity lasts, and in the end it is far better to walk alone with dignity than to run after others while leaving pieces of yourself behind. Tears are a natural expression of emotion, of pain, of joy, of loss, of love. They are sacred because they come from the deepest part of the human experience, from the places in the heart that words often fail to reach. But as sacred as tears are, they must be protected. They should not be given to those who do not value them, to those who have not held your heart with care or treated your presence with respect. Crying is not weakness, but we must learn to cry with purpose. Not every pain deserves your tears, especially not the kind caused by those who deliberately dishonor your trust. When someone hurts you, walks away from you, or shows indifference to your feelings, it is natural to feel the sting of abandonment or betrayal. The heart wants to grieve, and sometimes it wants to cry, not just for the person, but for the dreams you built with them, for the version of yourself you showed them, for the love that was not returned. But before the tears fall, ask yourself this: did this person treat your emotions with care? Did they value your presence or simply use it when convenient? If the answer is no, then you must protect yourself from investing more of your soul into someone who never truly saw you. There is strength in choosing where to place your pain. There is maturity in holding back your tears for the moments that truly call for them, not for those who walked away, but for those who stayed, not for those who left you empty, but for the healing that is to come. Cry when you need to, but let those tears be for your own healing, not for the validation of someone who turned their back on your love. We often give too much of ourselves to people who give so little in return. We cry for people who would not have cried for us, who did not pause to understand the damage they left behind. And in doing so, we lose parts of ourselves in pursuit of closure that will never come from them. That closure must come from within, from the decision to no longer allow someone's actions to have power over our peace. Your tears are valuable. Do not waste them on someone who failed to recognize your heart. Let them fall for your own growth, for your strength, for your courage to walk away, to rebuild, to start again. Let them cleanse you of the pain, not bind you to the person who caused it. Let them remind you of your humanity, but never let them make you feel weak. One of the greatest acts of self-love is knowing when not to cry for someone. It is choosing to hold your head high, dry your own tears, and take back your power. Cry not for who left, but for what you are about to become. Your strength is shown in how you rise, not in who stays or leaves. It is easy to feel strong when surrounded by support, when people applaud you, love you, and stand by your side. But true strength is revealed when you are alone, when the noise quiets, when the familiar hands let go, when the people you once trusted walk away. In those moments of solitude, when your heart aches and confusion fills your mind, that is when your inner strength is tested and defined. People often associate strength with endurance, how long you can hold on to a relationship, how much you can tolerate, how far you can bend without breaking. But real strength is not about how much suffering you can endure for someone else's comfort. Real strength is in knowing when to release what no longer serves your growth. It is in having the courage to choose yourself, even when it means walking away from people you love. It's about rising after disappointment, heartbreak, or betrayal, not because someone tells you to, but because you know you were never meant to stay broken. When someone leaves your life, whether by choice, by circumstance, or by betrayal, it may feel like your world has collapsed. You may question your worth, wonder what you did wrong, or dwell on what you could have done differently. These are natural emotions, but but they are not permanent truths. The reality is, people leave for reasons that often have more to do with them than with you. Their absence is not a measurement of your value. It is simply a part of life's unfolding path. Rising means standing back up when you've been pushed to your knees. It means refusing to let rejection define you. It is waking up each day and choosing peace over resentment, growth over regret, love over self-pity. It is not easy. It takes time, reflection, and often painful honesty. But it is in that process that you rediscover who you are without the noise, without the opinions of others, without the false security of conditional love. Strength does not always roar. Sometimes it is quiet and steady, a decision to keep going when it would be easier to give up. It is the soft but firm voice inside you that says, "I still matter," even when no one else is saying it. When you rise after being hurt, when you choose healing over bitterness, when you continue to give love without becoming hard, you embody the kind of strength that no one can take from you. The people who stay can be blessings, and their presence can offer comfort, but your strength is not proven by their loyalty. It is proven by your resilience. Whether you are surrounded by a crowd or standing alone in silence, your worth does not change. And the act of rising again and again is what makes you truly unbreakable. Walking forward with peace, not bitterness, is one of the most powerful decisions you can make in life. When you've been hurt, disappointed, or abandoned, bitterness can feel like a natural reaction. It offers the illusion of protection, a hard shell around your heart to keep more pain out. But what it really does is keep healing away. Bitterness anchors you to the past. Peace sets you free. And in choosing peace, you are not forgetting what happened. You are simply refusing to let it poison your future. Letting go with peace does not mean you approve of what was done to you. It means you are choosing yourself over the need to prove anything. Bitterness keeps you in a cycle of replaying the pain, seeking justice in your own mind, waiting for the apology that may never come. Peace, however, is the quiet strength that says, "I deserve better, and I don't need your acknowledgement to move forward." It is the path of wisdom, not weakness. To walk forward with peace is to decide that your heart is no longer a battlefield. You no longer wish to carry resentment like a burden on your back. You no longer define your worth by the love someone failed to give you. Peace allows you to take what you've learned, carry the lessons, and leave the bitterness behind. You see the situation clearly, but you no longer let it control your emotions. You speak the truth, but not with anger. You remember the past, but you don't relive it. Bitterness steals your joy quietly. It makes you distrustful, closed off, even cold. Peace restores your spirit. It opens the door for new beginnings, new relationships, and new strength. When you make peace with your past, you no longer feel the need to prove your pain to anyone. You stop rehearsing what you could have said or done differently. You simply accept that you did the best you could with what you knew, and now you are choosing to walk on lighter and stronger. There is immense power in not allowing someone else's actions to change who you are at your core. The moment you refuse to let hatred grow in your heart is the moment you reclaim control over your life. You forgive not to set them free, but to set yourself free. You release, not because they deserve peace, but because you do. So let this be the way forward, not with bitterness, not with anger, not with blame, but with clarity, with strength, and with peace. Walk forward with your head high, your heart open, and your soul intact. Let every step away from what hurt you be a step toward what heals you. And as you move forward, remember this: peace is not the absence of pain, but the presence of purpose. You are not defined by who left, who failed to love you, or who caused you harm. You are defined by your ability to rise, to release, and to walk on, not with bitterness in your hands, but with peace in your heart. That is where your power lies. That is how you win.